Welcome to this session of Midday Mentors. I'm delighted to be speaking to Amanda Finch. Amanda's one of the very few people in the UK that successfully steered a professional body from being just a collection of individuals through to charter status. She is the CEO of CISEC, the Chartered Institute of Information Security. So welcome, Amanda, to this session.
Hello, Richard. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's lovely to talk to you.
So I understand, Amanda, you've had a whole career in information security, and you don't seem to have jumped on the bandwagon of cyber security. So how would you differentiate between information security and cyber security?
Oh gosh, Richard, how long have we got? Because I think there's nearly as many descriptions and definitions of cyber as there are people working in it. In essence, cyber and information security can sometimes be used synonymously with each other. Cyber really came out of the fact that things were connected via the internet, but at the end of the day, virtually everything is connected some way or other to the internet. We didn't deliberately go on the bandwagon of calling ourselves the Chartered Institute of Cyber Security because, as you know, Richard, that we've been around this space for a long time, and it's changed from computer security to network security to information assurance, information security, cyber security, digital security. But at the end of the day, it's all about protecting information. So whether we call it cyber or green frog security or whatever, it's still about protecting information.
You said you've been around in this space for some time. Where did CISEC come from? What was its origin? And does the world need another professional body?
Well, they need us, definitely. But as CISEC came around really because back in all the early 2000s, people were, as you say, jumping on the bandwagon of security. It was a small, tight-knit community. Then suddenly the world got more complicated and more people were getting involved and people were passing themselves off as security experts when they maybe had sat an exam and just got a few letters to say that they'd done a security course. So the reason the Institute was set up was to really be able to be a focal point for the profession and to act as an accreditation authority so that you would be able to ascertain whether people could actually do the job. And its whole focus was on accrediting people on a competency basis so that we would expect people to have qualifications, but we would also expect people to be able to use that knowledge in the environment. So that's how CISEC was really born.
You talk about accrediting people for their competence. When you look at people who have some acronyms after their name from other bodies, do you find as much difference between their claim skills and capability and what you're looking for when you're looking at membership?
I think the whole thing is that you, as a professional, you expect people to have knowledge. So a lot of it's obviously on the job training, certainly with people like me that came into the profession when there weren't the courses out there that you could go on. But as a profession, you would expect people to invest in their learning. So you'd either expect them to be doing something like a degree or a master's at some point in their career, and looking at doing professional courses as well. Now, it's a horses for courses thing, is that there are different courses that are relevant to different sectors of the profession. So when we're looking at measuring people, we're looking for people to get the appropriate courses for their particular discipline. So if they're doing auditing, you probably expect them to be looking at 27001. CISP is very widely available, the CISMs, you know, the things from ISACA. They all have a place, but unless you get the opportunity to actually practice them, you're not going to build up the competency. So they all have their place, and some are better than others, and some are more appropriate to particular disciplines.
Amanda, I think you got your Royal Chartered status last July, so you're just coming up to 12 months. Has this first year been as you expected? Was it more exciting? Or what's your view looking back over the year compared to what you thought you might achieve in the year?
Well, I think getting charters is almost a bit like getting married, that all of the focus is on the day, you know, and getting it sort of thing. And you think everybody's going to live, well, you think everyone's going to live happily ever after, and that's when all of the fun starts. So it was a long journey to get charter. I think that when we first started embarking on it, we didn't realise how detailed and all of the hoops that we would need to go through to get there. I think relief was the first thing when it finally came through, because we got the first part of it was in December of 2018. Yes, gosh, 2018, when we were told that we were going to get it. But it doesn't actually count until you get the vellum and the official piece of paper. Well, it's not paper, official piece of vellum with the sticky seal from the Queen on it. So that came through in June last year. So it puts obligations on you as well, is that you have to start doing things for the public good if you weren't doing them already, and there are various sets of obligations on you. So what we've been doing is that we've been looking at our strategy and where we should be going. A lot of the stuff we've been doing already, which is the accreditation of people. We have immense depth in doing that. We've also created some depth in terms of setting standards with the skills framework. So we've been building on that work, and we've been constantly looking at the skills framework, but we've also developed a knowledge framework and a roles framework to support those. So we've concentrated a lot of efforts in developing materials to help professionals develop themselves, but also develop others in their teams. And so that there's a lot of things happening in that side. At the same time, DCMS has been setting up the Cyber Council. So we've been very much involved in that as well. So it's been a lot busier than I think we ever imagined it would be, but probably in a good way. So it's been good, but there's a lot to do, but we're definitely going down the right track with everything.
Do you think the Cyber Council will start to rationalise things, or do you think there will continue to be a whole host of professional bodies and interested groups in the world of information security or cyber security for the foreseeable future?
I think that you need to have lots of different groups because people are looking at things from different areas. Where CISEC is unique, and that's the reason we got the charter, is that we represent the breadth of the profession, and I don't think that there's anybody out there that represents the breadth of the profession in the way that we do, and the fact that we're purely focused on information and cyber security. So if you look at the other organisations that are out there and in that space, you've got organisations like the BCS and the IET, where an element of their membership is involved in information security or cyber security. You've got other organisations like CREST, for example, that focus on the pen testing world. You've got certification bodies out there like ISACA, ISC Squared, CompTIA, that are looking at building the qualifications for us. So it's an ecosphere in many ways, and everybody has a part to play in it. I think that the thing that we need to do a lot better is the signposting, so that people know where to go, because it's like alphabetic spaghetti when you look at all of the anagrams that you can make out of I's and A's and S's and P's. And
talking to signposting, what would be your advice to an 11-year-old thinking about what career they should think about for the future?
Well, I think you can never be too young to start thinking about a future and a career. I think that one of the things that we should be doing is making it more attractive to 11-year-olds to sort of see security or info security cyber as a career. So if you like solving problems, then yep, security is definitely for you. If you really like getting stuck in and looking at things on screens and working out how things work and how you can break them, yep, that's also a great, there's a great career for you there. But there's loads of other ones as well, that if you like communicating with people, if you like explaining things, if you like problem solving, if you like really pretty much doing anything, there's going to be something in cyber that is going to be right for you. So as an 11-year-old, there's loads of stuff on the news that you can just pick up on. So I think be very aware about what's going on in the cyber world, because it's a world you've got to live in. But also look at things that actually appeal to you from the cyber world.
Amanda, I know you've just launched a qualification. Is that an introductory qualification to the profession? And sort of who have you targeted that? Who do you think is the sort of people you'd like to see come through and study for and take that qualification?
Well, we just developed a qualification which is associated with our accredited affiliate level of membership. And it's aimed at really anybody that wants to get to know more about cyber and the building blocks that you need to protect systems and understand cyber and information security. So it's really aimed at people that are new to the profession. It's measured against our knowledge framework, which is really what we would expect everybody to know once they've been in the profession for a year or so. It's a good starter from that point of view, but it's also an excellent way of people finding out about cyber, because so many people's jobs have got cyber or infosec elements to them. So if you are working alongside cyber teams and don't necessarily understand what it is that they're talking about, it's a very, very good way of actually building up that knowledge. So I think it's a great qualification because it educates people about cyber. It probably will encourage people to want to get involved in the profession if they're not already. And you can get some letters after your name. So I think it's a win-win all round, basically.
If we were sitting here in 4 years' time, so it's the 5th anniversary of the professional body being in existence, what would success look like then to you?
For me, I would like to see more recognition within organisations for chartered level of security professionals. I think that the chartered security professional is coming. I think that's really good because what we need to be able to do is to educate companies of what good looks like inside professionals. And if we have qualifications or accreditations that are simple to understand in the same way as the medical profession has, or accountancy or law, then that can only be good, and that people will know what they're getting when they're getting a chartered cyber or information security professional, because it's an important job. The professionals need to have the recognition for it, and organisations need to know that they're actually employing people that are doing the role properly, and it's a regulated environment, and they know that they can trust those people. So a lot of signposting, a lot of clarification. I'd like to see us being as easy to understand as the medical profession or the accountants or the law profession in terms of what you're getting, basically.
Amanda, great talking to you. Good luck with delivering on the vision, and I'll watch your progress with interest. Thank you very much.
Lovely to talk to you. You take care. Bye.